Hey everyone, welcome back to Robot Radiology. Today's episode is part 13th of our academic writing series, and we are diving into the world of appositives and adjective clauses. This is the second part of chapter 6, which is all about definition paragraphs and related grammar to it. The book is Longman Academic Writing Book 3, chapter 6. Okay, let's go. Appositives. What is an appositive? Appositives rename another noun or phrase. An example would be Persian, the language of Iran. Appositive. Why we use appositives? Well, it will give definition or explanation, make a writing concise and informative. An example would be fudge, a soft creamy candy, was invented by mistake. There are two types of appositives, necessary and extra. Another name for necessary would be restrictive, and for extra would be non-restrictive. So, what does necessary or restrictive appositives mean? They are needed to identify the noun. For example, my friend Tina makes fudge. Well, Tina is necessary. Without Tina, we don't know which friend. Extra or non-restrictive, not essential to identify the noun. An example would be, Tina, my friend, makes fudge. Here, we still know who makes the fudge. In summary, we use appositives for clarity and efficiency and decide if the information is necessary or extra. Punctuation matters. There is no commas needed for necessary information, but comma is needed for extra information. Remember that. So if we have an extra information and it is not necessary to identify, so we use commas. Now let's move on and talk about adjective clauses. Introduction to adjective clauses. Well, adjective clauses are dependent clauses, and we sometimes call them relative clauses as well. They begin with who, whom, which, that, etc. The purpose of adjective clauses is to describe nouns or pronouns that appear after the noun or pronoun they modify. They are often used to define or give more information. Examples of adjective clauses. Halloween, which is celebrated on 31st October, is a holiday with pagan origins. Halloween is the day when children dress up. Well, the topic of this chapter was definition paragraphs, and all the grammar tools that we are talking about, they are very useful for writing definitions and giving context or background on a noun. Like appositive, adjective clauses also divide into necessary or extra. So, some rules for using necessary adjective clauses. No commas used. These clauses are essential to the meaning. An example would be, every culture has special days that people observe with food and events. That. It is a necessary clause. Now let's move on to extra clauses. These clauses give extra but not essential information. For example, many Halloween costumes have started with their sales, comma, who lived in Ireland or England. Here are a list of commonly used relative pronouns alongside some examples. Who is used for people, subject of the clause. The example would be, the teacher who helped me the most retired last year. Whom, used for people, object of the clause. An example would be, the student whom I tutored past exam. Whose shows possession. Possession. I met a woman whose brother is a famous actor. Which is the other one. Which is used for animals or things. The book, which was written in the 19th century, is still popular. That used for people, animals, or things, and it is mostly appear in necessary clauses. The movie that we watched last night was amazing. When refers to time. Summer is the season when many people go on vacation. Complex sentences with adjective clauses. Well, how to make adjective clauses? Combine two sentences to form an adjective clause. Valentine's Day is popular in many countries. Valentine's Day is a holiday of love and friendship. So the combined version would be Valentine's Day, which is a holiday of love and friendship, is popular in many countries. So we use something that describes the Valentine Day. So the Valentine Day is the antecedent, the one which is described. Here is a very, very important rule for you to take note. Place the adjective clause right after its antecedent for clarity. I will repeat it again. Place the adjective clause right after its antecedent for clarity. Here is a version of a confusing sentence. The Valentine's cards are based on 19th century British tradition that Americans buy for each other. The clear version would be, the Valentine's cards that Americans buy for each other are based on a 19th century British tradition. So, important rules for adjective clauses. Keep the adjective clauses close to its antecedent. Make web arrangement match the antecedent. A store that sells chocolate will be busy. A store that sells chocolate will be busy. Avoid double pronouns. Choose the correct relative pronoun. You need to know when you should use who, whom, whose, which, based on the context. Here is a picture of from the book. There are the relative clauses with plenty of examples. You can take a screenshot. And that brings us to the end of today's session on academic writing in English. I hope the strategies, examples, and structures we covered will help you write with more clarity, precision, and confidence. Whenever you are working on an essay, a research paper, or any academic task, or even casual writing, it will help you. If you found this video useful, please don't forget to give it a like, share it with others who might benefit from it, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel for more lessons for you. Your support helps keep this content free and accessible to everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Keep learning, keep writing, and see you in the next one.